We could do this every day. A roundup of large-scale black mob violence from around the country. Some at bars after they get out. Call them let-out fights. Some at athletic contests. Some after school. Some here, some there. Some everywhere. What we don't see is white kids doing this. We don't see Asian kids doing this. But we see a lot of denial, deceit, and delusion from reporters and public officials who are pretending all this stuff is isolated and there is no pattern. Let's just blow through some of these videos quickly as we can. Tell me if you notice anything.
Mall chaos. A night of fun ends in arrests after high school students switch from dancing to fighting. Good evening, I'm Max McGee. We're learning tonight about a Friday night brawl at East Point Mall. Baltimore County Police say an event billed as the official all high schools March Madness party drew hundreds of teenagers. Fights broke out and police were called to disperse the crowd. WJZ is live. Pat Warren has more on what one witness described as a mob scene. Pat.
Yes, police say that the mob scene took place around 9:30 last night. What was supposed to be a party turned into arrests and pepper spray. Police say hundreds of kids showed up at East Point Mall last night for the event advertised on this flyer. The size of the crowd caused mall security to shut down the event, and fights broke out.
It was all types of chaos. It was just like hard to really focus on one thing because there was so much going on.
There's at least 300 juveniles in this parking lot area trying to break into cars, damaging the fronts of businesses.
Baltimore County and Maryland State Police were called in to disperse the crowd.
Police officers were swarming. It was just like I can't even describe it. It was just everywhere. It was people running and fighting and banging, and it was just a whole bunch of chaos.
Police used pepper spray to break up the fights. 9 juveniles were arrested. Today, police tell WJZ the mall contains some unleased areas that management rents for private events.
I'm not sure if the mall management was aware of the size of this party that was advertised and a number of juveniles that were going to be there.
In a statement, East Point Mall says the size of the crowd caused the mall security to shut down the event.
Crowds got out of hand and created a busy night for Philadelphia police.
The groups of unruly people drew a massive response from law enforcement. Action News reporter Christy Aletto joins us live along South Street. And Christy, this was a chaotic scene.
No doubt. Residents and businesses say this happens a lot when it gets warm outside. Now, the bulk of the fights actually happened here at this intersection at 4th and South, prompting a lot of patrons who were in businesses to have to stay inside until the scene got cleared. But for many who live here, they're now wondering, when will this end?
It's all over Facebook. And that was right here.
Cell phone video that's now gone viral of several fights erupting on South Street Saturday night between 3rd and 4th Streets.
We weren't allowed out of the establishment until they got it cleared.
Under lockdown, Vanessa, who didn't want to give her last name, says she watched most of the melee from the window of the restaurant where she works.
It's so sad. This is what's going on here now. They have to take care of it.
They depantsed him. They all started jumping on him. And then when he was laying there, they just depantsed him. And he was unconscious.
Police say 5 people were being arrested for disorderly conduct when patrons being let out of bars started to harass officers. Several fights then broke out, challenging the resources of officers in the area, prompting a citywide assist for backup. The last 48 hours have been 2 of the warmest days of the year so far.
It's bringing people out that are, stuck at home and they don't act right when they first come out and, oh my God, it's such a beautiful day. Let me act a fool.
People need to behave better. People need to be kinder to other people in the stores and the neighborhoods.
Now to a violent confrontation at a rap concert in Richmond that has many people talking on social media tonight.
A major brawl broke out at the National last night when the hip-hop group The City Girls finished their performance. New at 11, Brent Solomon is live in Richmond with more details. Brent, that brawl then spread to the streets last night?
Yeah, RPD describes this one as a big fight. I can tell you right now, some officers are on scene patrolling the premises. This all started because it was supposed to be a concert to celebrate a local radio station's birthday. They're known for their hit songs Act Up and Take Your Man. And then there's the song Twerk, a collaboration with rapper Cardi B. The group City Girls came to the National Thursday night, bringing a huge crowd, when all of a sudden the concert took a sour note. A huge brawl and a now viral video that we've chosen not to show. You can see a little girl being hit as punches are thrown and a boy trying to shield himself from the adults fighting. One entertainment blog's headline making Twitter, "Oops, a brawl breaks out during City Girls concert in Virginia." After the ordeal inside, the chaos poured out onto the streets. Richmond police confirming more fighting right here.
A video of a fight at a concert last night at the National. You see, it's right there in the middle of the crowd during a show headlined by City Girls and Coca Vango. Police say off-duty officers were working the event, but everyone involved ran before they could be caught.
Father and daughter arrested this weekend on Broad Street in Augusta. Thousands of you viewed that and shared the video on social media. Tonight, that case is still under investigation by the Sheriff's Office. The Richmond County Sheriff's Office tells Fox 54's Jasmine Anderson they could have done better.
His father and daughter handcuffed on the ground in front of a Broad Street pub. Multiple cell phone cameras capture anger during the arrests.
Because he was already restrained. Why are you going to put yourself and have the man's your hand on top of the man's head and tell him to shut up and have your fist ball up?
Hundreds of people asking these questions and more on social media, questioning the deputy's use of force. The Sheriff's Office says that incident shows only a small portion of the aftermath of a large fight downtown. That started, one suspect says, after an unidentified man punched her in the face.
With those kind of establishments here, in the time of evening, you might imagine people have been drinking, heavily.
Investigators say deputies told the woman to go to her car many times. Instead, they say she got aggressive and even tried to attack an undercover narcotics officer. Her father was taken into custody after trying to intervene, investigators say.
Preliminarily, we have looked at, a good portion of all the body cameras footage, and there's always things that we could do better. But it does appear that what force was used was justified.
Mobile police investigating a shooting on Delmar Drive. That's off of Pleasant Valley near I-65. At this hour, information is still rolling in. News 5's Brianna Hollis is live at the scene right now. And Bree, I understand the victim in this case is a woman.
Yes, Peter, that's right. And she's seriously hurt. She has been taken to the hospital. Police say a fight broke out between a large group of people right behind this crime scene tape. And it looks like those shots were fired right back behind where that police cruiser is. That's where we saw 7 evidence markers laying out where shell casings were. And it looks like those shots were fired across the street toward a home where there are 2 red sedans out front. That's where we've seen police around most of the time since we got here around 3:45, taking pictures of the cars, taking pictures of the homes. Neighbors, of course, surrounding this crime scene area, wondering what was going on. And all of this happening in broad daylight. We actually started to see some kids coming back from school to essentially see this crime scene out in their front yard. We don't know anything about any suspects or whether anyone is in custody at this point, but stick with us for updates.
We begin with a massive police presence at Harding University High School. Look at this video from Chopper 9 Sky Zoom. We counted more than 3 dozen police cruisers out in the school parking lot.
CMS says there was a situation that may have put students in danger. That's why police swarmed that area, and it delayed dismissal this afternoon.
Eyewitness News broke into programming around 2:30 this afternoon to keep you updated. And now we want to bring in our reporter, Brianna Harper. She's live on the campus right now. Brianna, what have you learned?
Erica, police tell us there was a large fight involving a crowd of students at the school bus parking lot right around dismissal time here at Harding University High School.
9 kids were arrested this evening after Clark County deputies responded to a large fight at a middle school. The Clark County Sheriff's Office says around 5:40 tonight, someone called 911 to say a fight had just broken out at a basketball tournament at Gazer Middle School. Deputies arrived and say a group of 60 to 70 or more kids all closed in, hurling racial slurs, curse words, even death threats at them. Deputies then called for backup because of riot conditions. And now to a look at outside the school in this video from Deneen Bloss. Now, both Washington State Patrol and the Vancouver Police Department responded to this and encouraged the crowd to leave school property right away. 9 kids were arrested in all. We're told facing charges ranging from trespass to assault. One deputy was minorly injured while trying to arrest one suspect there.
On a controversial video of what looks like a police officer slamming a young girl to the ground in Poughkeepsie. News 12's Carolyn Rowe has more on the ongoing investigation into what went down.
But to see that it's pretty upsetting.
Devin Holman upset after seeing this video of what appears to show a Poughkeepsie police officer slamming a young girl to the ground.
That's police brutality. That's what I'm seeing. You know, I don't know the whole story, but, you know, looking at it from that video, it's just like...
News 12 got the video from the girl's mother. She said it happened Monday when her 15-year-old daughter was walking home from school and says she and her friends were approached by police. Police say they came to this area around 4 o'clock Monday after receiving multiple calls about a fight involving a large group of students walking home from school.
2 Rochester police officers were hurt breaking up a fight last night. It happened around 9 outside of Danforth Community Center where a large party was reported. Officers found multiple people fighting. That's when a juvenile hit one of the officers in the head with the rock. They were taken into custody. It's unclear how the second officer was hurt. Both have already been released from the hospital.
Tonight, Baltimore City Police are called to the Inner Harbor after receiving reports of multiple fights downtown. Police tell WJZ officers were called to Light and Pratt Streets around 9 tonight to investigate large groups of juveniles involved in multiple fights. We're told when officers arrived, multiple juveniles ran from the scene.
You know, we're not really even close to being finished, but let's just finish up with 2 that we don't really have video on, but which parents and cops in the area tell me involve black people.
Please, sir. I want some more.
This is at the Myth nightclub in Maplewood, which I think is in St. Paul, Minnesota. And there's a guy shot in the neck during a large fight. All large fights. Everything we just saw, all large fights. This happened, that happened, this happened. You have to listen carefully. Then they bring in the punchline. Oh, yeah, it was a large fight. Lots of bad business in St. Paul and Minneapolis. And, of course, why don't we go over to Cleveland, where a couple of teenagers, air quotes, get into a large fight. Guns are pulled out. People get hurt. After that, everything is just business as usual. Let's just go on to tomorrow. Hope it's not as bad as today, because today, last couple days, looking at these videos, looks like the black kids were pretty angry.